So the purpose of this video is going to be to show the basics of how to put in a corneal suture. This isn't supposed to be an advanced technique. It's just for the residents and fellows who are trying to get their, a good system for putting in sutures. So it's really, I think as a resident, it was hard to learn an actual system for managing sutures. So let me see if I can run you through how to put in a corneal suture. You'll need at least two instruments. One will be your needle holder. The other one's going to be a tire or some kind of a tooth forceps with a tying platform, and that's what we're using here. Small teeth, it's got a nice tying platform. The needle holder is for holding the needle and maybe for tying the suture. The tooth forceps will be for holding the suture and holding corneal tissue. You never hold the needle with the tooth forceps. It'll ding the teeth and it won't tie anymore. You want to hold the needle about 2/3 of the way along the curve of the needle. That's going to get you off the swedged portion or the round portion and onto the flat portion to give you more control. The angle here is I like to hold this needle so it's sitting flat on the cornea. It's not real steep into the cornea. It's not coming off the cornea like a ski jump. It's just sitting nice and flat on the cornea. We're going to grab the laceration with the tooth forceps, and I'm going to put my needle right where I want it to enter the cornea. We'll push down on the needle holder and slightly pull up on the tooth forceps and just drive the suture straight through. That'll give you that good 90% depth corneal suture. I'm going to grab onto the more proximal side of the laceration. I'm going to pass the needle directly underneath the tooth forceps, and then we're going to present the tip out of the cornea. Needle holder will come around. We're going to finish pulling the needle out of the cornea, and I'm going to pull this needle to my left shoulder. And that's a real important step here. What that's going to do, that's going to leave the entire right side of the field open for tying the knot. Now, if you're a left-handed surgeon, you're going to pull this the opposite direction. You'll be pulling it to your right shoulder. Let me just unstick my suture. It's stuck on my pig eye here. There we go. You'll pull and pull until you have about a cornea worth of a suture tail left over. And we're still holding this needle to the left side. And now with your tooth forceps, you can grab this suture one of two ways. You can have your fingers up to the air, or you can have your thumb up in the air. And I want you to grab with your thumb up. You're going to grab just behind the teeth of the tooth forceps. You've got control of the suture now. You got good control of the suture. You can open the needle holder and drop the suture to your left. Again, that's going to leave all of this space for us to work with the suture. So now we're going to bring our needle holder. You see, I've already turned the needle holder upside down, so it's reaching down towards the suture. So we went from upside up to upside down. I just do that. It's a habit at this point. We're going to wrap the suture around the needle holder. We're going to grab our suture, and we're going to lay down the first throw of our slip knot. You don't need to tighten this too much. It's going to loosen up on you anyway. And leave yourself a relatively short tail. The needle holder will come around the suture. We're going to wrap the needle holder, come around the back side of this suture. I'm following the needle holder with my tooth forceps. That prevents me from choking up on the needle holder. We'll grab the free end of the suture, and you're going to pull that free end down towards you again. The needle holder will go the same direction for the first two throws of a slip knot. Once you like the tension, the needle holder goes right on top of the knot, and we're going to tie these nice and square. Again, notice how I'm pulling and following the needle holder with the tooth forceps. Make sure these lay down nice and square. There's our third throw. Here comes our fourth. And our knot's already finished. We've only had to grab the suture once with the tooth forceps. There's no re-grasping. We've never lost control of the suture, so we're not going to lose it. We're now going to cut our suture. Before we do anything, I'm going to use my needle holder, and I'm going to use this like a little pulley, and we're going to pull the needle back onto the surgical field so we can see where it is. And then you're ready to grab the end of the suture with your tooth forceps again, and we can get this reloaded either forehand or backhand, however you want to pass that suture. All right, so that's the Suture 101. Hopefully you've learned something. Now you can get into the OR and give this a try yourself. Thanks for watching.